I believe that the time is coming for AMP. And I think that AMP during the next bull run could hypothetically at least go to the price of 10 cents and prove a lot of those AMP haters wrong and make them cry over to their girlfriend's boyfriend's grandma and start begging for that new vibrator that's on sale. And of course, that's not baby mama, grandma, nor financial advice. But in today's video, I want to explain several reasons why I believe AMP could hypothetically at least go to the price of 10 cents during the next bull run. First of all, I think that AMP is very special. AMP was created by Flexa, which is a crypto payments company. And shortly before AMP was launched, Flexa launched an app called SPEDN, which allowed users to pay at thousands of merchants using various cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin, Ethereum, and many others. And the reason why AMP was even launched in the first place was because the original Flexa Coin smart contract could not be upgraded to support the new functionalities that Flexa was looking for. However, keep in mind that Flexa and AMP are two separate technologies. Flexa's payment protocol makes it feasible to pay at thousands of merchants using various cryptocurrencies and stable coins. And what makes Flexa different from other crypto payment services out there is the fact that crypto payments with Flexa are automatically converted into whichever fiat the merchant wants. And these conversions from crypto to fiat are done through crypto exchanges that Flexa has partnered up with. And now with that being said, some people, they may be wondering, what is the use case of AMP? And the purpose of AMP is to act as collateral for cryptocurrency transactions that are made through Flexa's payment protocol. And just to visualize what I mean by this, let's say for instance, a guy goes to a store, he makes a purchase at that store using a cryptocurrency through the SPEDN app. And when this purchase is made, it's going to take some time for the transaction to be finalized, so to speak. The merchant first has to wait for a certain number of confirmations. And there's also a possibility that the transaction may fail as well. Let's say during the transaction, there's a hard fork or a chain halt, then the transaction, it's not going to go through. However, there is a solution for this, and this is where AMP steps in, because a certain amount of AMP that is worth slightly more than the transaction will be locked up into a special smart contract. And the benefit of this is that if, let's say, the transaction fails for whatever reason, then the AMP will automatically be sold into fiat. And this right here will ensure that the merchant will always get their money, so to speak. And also another reason why the amount of AMP that was locked up was worth slightly more than the transaction is because if, let's say, during the transaction, the prices of cryptos are falling, let's say the crypto space overall is crashing, if let's say those conditions are happening, it will still ensure that regardless of that, the merchant will still get their entire payment. So really, anyway, take a look at it. I think that AMP plays such a crucial role. And now, with that being said, some people, they may be wondering, where is this AMP coming from? And the AMP collateral that is used for transactions is coming from users who stake their AMP with payment providers who are leveraging Flexa's payment protocol. I think that AMP has a very strong use case. Unlike a lot of other cryptocurrencies out there, a lot of cryptocurrencies out there, they don't really have a use case for the most part. But in the case of AMP, it has a very strong use case. If I were to put an analogy on AMP, I would call it Patrick Mahomes. And now this is for the people who love football. But yeah, I think it's that amazing. When I take a look at other cryptocurrencies out there, they're like those Baker Mayfield, Zach Wilson types, the Kaka types, the ones that suck, that don't really have any utility. And personally for me, I think that the future of AMP could look so bright because, in my opinion, there is a lot of potential in the global crypto payment gateway market, which AMP is focused on. And as a matter of fact, the global crypto payment gateway market is anticipated to be worth over $90 billion by 2028, which I think is insane. I think that AMP is clearly focused on the right thing, and I think that the future of AMP could look so unbelievable. And personally for me, I think a major catalyst which could very well allow AMP to hypothetically attain the price of 10 cents during the next bull run is the fact that I do think that the next bull run could be so legendary. And the reason why I think that way is because as of right now, we have over 420 million people around the world owning cryptocurrencies, which is a very impressive figure because back in 2021, during that massive bull run, at that time, there was roughly only around 300 million people owning cryptos. And yet still, even despite that, the bull run that year was that ginormous. That's what she said. So you gotta imagine just how massive the next bull run could potentially be, especially now that we have over 420 million people owning cryptos. I think when you have that many people, the amount of FOMO, buying pressure, buying volume, and altcoin season could really be through the roof. And I think that during the next bull run, especially when I consider all of those factors and when I consider just how incredible AMP is. I don't see why AMP won't go to the price of 10 cents during the next bull run, hypothetically speaking. And now, of course, that's not financial advice and that is not a guarantee, but I am continuing to dollar cost average into AMP. I am ignoring the short to medium term price movements. I don't day trade, I don't swing trade, I don't use leverage, and I don't use technical analysis to try to outsmart the market. I don't do any of that type of nonsense. All I'm focused on is just accumulating on a consistent basis. And by dollar cost averaging, I believe that I am preparing myself for the next bull run in such a fantastic way. I can't wait for the next bull run, and I am extremely bullish on AMP. I wouldn't be surprised whatsoever if during the next bull run, it went to the price of 10 cents. I think that the next bull run, it will really be time for AMP to shine. And if you want to check out a very interesting video, make sure to go ahead and click on this thumbnail right here. It's a very fantastic video, and I think you all would really love it.